Poor Andy Serkis. I just don't know how he's gonna one-up this one. So guys, I was able to see The Jungle Book this weekend, and it's about time we talk about it. Now, I appreciate the 1967 animated classic, The Jungle Book, as much as the next person, but I'm not like a die-hard fan. You know, I have other animated movies that I remember liking a lot more whenever I was a kid, but I was still sort of interested to see this live-action depiction of it, mostly because Jon Favreau was directing it, had a great cast, but then what really sold me on this was the fact that this is all done on green screen. None of the filming for this movie actually happened outside. Every single blade of grass, leaf, drop of water, the animals in this movie, everything is CGI. Everything except for Mowgli. And if we're getting into the things that I liked about this movie, Mowgli's as good of a place as any to start. Because newcomer Neil Sethi kills it as Mowgli, in my opinion. No matter how good everything else is with this movie, if he doesn't give a convincing performance, this movie doesn't work. And in my opinion, he did a phenomenal job. Is it an Oscar-worthy performance? No, I don't think so. But what he did is he made me believe that I was truly watching a kid in the jungle just trying to fit in. Especially with Baloo. I mean, come on. How about that scene where they're on the river and they're singing Bare Necessities? I mean, I literally thought, like, this could be one of my nephews. And speaking of Baloo, you gotta give mad props to Bill Murray. I gotta say, the second that I heard Baloo go off on a tangent about how Mowgli owes him and how he needs to pay him back, I was like, oh, okay, so Jon Favreau just let Bill Murray go off and do his thing, which to his credit was the right call because he was fantastic. I think he did the same thing with Christopher Walken because there was a lot of Christopher Walken isms in the movie, and again, it worked. I felt like I was watching Walken play that gangster style we've seen him play in the past, like in True Romance, and it totally worked. By the way, did you notice the cowbell that Mowgli finds? Huh? But honestly, all the performances in this movie were great all around. There's just too many to talk about individually. I mean, Lupita Nyong'o, Scarlett Johansson, everyone else. Everyone else is great, but the one guy I do have to mention is Idris Elba. Wowzers. That guy is intimidating. Holy God, this guy is just dangerous and menacing. I mean, he was a legitimate threat in this movie. This guy was someone to be feared, and the fact that they didn't make him a mustache-twirling villain was really important because it upped the stakes of this movie. I was beyond convinced that Mowgli is in trouble. He might die by the end of this movie for all I know. Seriously, I didn't remember the ending to the animated film, so when we got about halfway through this movie, I turned to my wife and I was like, dude, does Mowgli die? Are they gonna kill Mowgli? Because if he meets up with Shere Khan's gonna kill him, straight up. The movie also did a really good job of expanding on the stuff that had already been done in the animated movie. For example, instead of Baloo just being Mowgli's good buddy, and they're just all buddy-buddy and that's it, it was cool to see that Baloo was actually using Mowgli because he wanted honey and wanted Mowgli to get it for him. And so it was actually a very like kind of selfish type of relationship at first that ended up blossoming into a true friendship. And I really got this sense from King Louie that King Louie really wanted to be human, which is a really interesting concept that you've got this thing, it's accomplished everything that it wants to, its next step is to be a human being. I just like how Jon Favreau and company took the existing lore from the animated movie and the novel and expanded on it and fleshed it out and made it more relatable and frankly more interesting. And lastly, the CGI in this movie is incredible. It really is. I can't believe that they did this all on a green screen. That being said, going into the dislikes, and there's not many of them, this is more just nitpicking, but there were a couple times where I could tell that they were on a green screen. It didn't bother me, it didn't like take me out of the movie, it was noticeable, but what else should I expect? I also would have liked a little bit more of Kaa, Scarlett Johansson's character. I think that character was used mostly just for exposition purposes to show kind of Mowgli's backstory, and how Kaa knows about that, I don't know, but apparently she does. And when King Louie started to sing, I was like, ooh, dude, they really played this guy out to be a really scary mobster type fellow, and now he's singing. Man, you really took one of the more intimidating characters of the movie and you made him kind of a clown. So I don't know, it just didn't work for me. I understand the nostalgia behind it, I get it, but for me, I was really into that character, so I was like, no, don't sing. Don't sing. Save that for the end credits of the movie. But that's about it, guys. I mean, I think that this is truly a fantastic movie, and even as an adult, this movie got to me. I thought that there was a ton of adventure. There was some legitimate danger in this movie. I feared for the main protagonist. To me, this is the definitive Jungle Book movie. So that being said, I am so happy I saw The Jungle Book in theaters. It really was a spectacle, and a beautiful one at that. I gotta give The Jungle Book a 4.5 out of 5. But that's just what I think, take it or leave it. What do you guys think? Have you seen the Jungle Book by now? Are you excited to see it? Let me know down in the comments section. Let's talk about it. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to my channel. That way you'll get updates whenever I post new videos, so we can do this again soon. I'll check you later.
Check you later. Check you later. Hey man, get off my case. Oh man. Chicks don't want to hear that shit.